What's up, everybody? Welcome back to How It's Done. Today we are going to be adding some recess cans to better light up this space. We're going to be adding 8 around the ceiling fan. There was a chandelier hanging here, so we're going to be using this as one of them and basing our measurements off of this and off of the center of the recess of the ceiling fan, excuse me. So I'm going to go ahead and lay out some string lines. What we're going to be doing is taking a measurement off the wall here to that, finding that as our center, putting some string lines across the ceiling so that we can use those to get everything in line, because we're going to have 3 recess cans right here in line with the fan. So you want to get everything all squared off by putting a string line across the ceiling. Can't do a chalk line because I'm not going to be repainting this, but I'm just going to use some masonry string to put it across there and get everything squared away. And then, because we're doing 8 recess cans, we're going to be installing a dimmer after the fact. Alright, so we got the ceiling fan down, light fixtures out, so we're basically taking a distance from the ceiling fan to the wall, from the wall to the light fixture. Same thing here to the light fixture, and from this wall to the ceiling fan. And then we got that all jotted down, took our dimensions, figured out exactly how far off of the ceiling fan this needs to be, so that everything is kind of squared with the ceiling fan. And you can kind of see we got these little tack nails that I put in the corners. No one's really going to see them when you pull them out, marking off where the string lines are going to be. So we're going to go ahead and put the string lines up there, and at every spot that a string line crosses should be where a recess can is going to go. So we'll know to just drill there with our hole saw and be good. The reason I have the ceiling fan down is there's going to be a string line going this way and going this way to confirm that we're squared up with everything. So there we go. Alright, so we got the string line across the ceiling. Like I said, every point that these cross, perpendicular to each other, not necessarily where they have the funky angles, but every one of these perpendicular crosses is where there's going to be a recess can going. You can see we got this lined out just about perfect. Same thing here. Over here, apparently the distance I came from the wall was not quite 100% where I wanted it to be, but that's close enough to get it. And then same thing here. So, should be good. We're going to go ahead and get the drill set up to drill these. And I'll show you a new tool that I got. So, for this I'm going to be using a 4-inch hole saw so that we can get these pop-in boxes up there. I do have a new tool that I got, which is called a dust bowl. And basically this goes in between the drill chuck and the hole saw, so that when you got it up against the ceiling, you can drill it and the dust gets collected in here instead of all over your customer's floor. Alright, so first I'm going to do this without the hole saw on it. I'm just going to use the pilot bit because I don't want to get the bit caught up in the string. We're just going to get started where the recess cans are going to be drilled. It does take a little bit of work to get everything lined up just the way you want it. So we'll go through and we'll get the rest of these drilled out, and then I'll show you how this works with the hole saw. Alright, so getting this with the hole saw might be a little tricky because you're going to have this top piece up there. Get it lined up with your pilot hole. That's all there is to it. You're there. How's that, man? Easy. Okay, so next thing you gotta do is run the wire to connect all these lights together. Since they did have that existing chandelier in the kitchen, this is all just gonna get wired to that. So the way you wanna do that, I know the joists run this way, so I'm just gonna slide a wire all the way through to the different cans this way. We'll probably have to get up into the attic at some point to run the wires, but I'm hoping this will slide through. doesn't seem like it, so I'm gonna have to get up in the attic and run this. Not a big deal. So. Okay, so we've got the wire going from here, connecting to all the different holes that the lights are gonna be in. So now what we're gonna do is use this pop-in box, put it up in the ceiling, shoot the wires through. Now that that's there, we'll just tighten these screws up, and the little flaps that are on the outside will grab hold of the sheetrock and suck it up to the ceiling. Just like that. Alright. That should do it. So we'll do that with the rest of them, and then we'll show you how to wire it up. So real quick, because you're seeing me doing this from this side, what this does when you get it up there, that 4-inch hole that we drilled with the hole saw basically covers all these little tabs on the side so that they'll fit in the hole just barely. If you go in at any sort of angle, it's not going to want to go in. But once you get it in the hole, as you tighten up these screws on the side here, these flaps pop out, and then these screws, as they get tighter, it pulls it tight against the sheetrock and it holds everything in place. Now this is not going to be suitable for hanging a ceiling fan. The weight of the fixture is only supported by the sheetrock itself. So if you're going to be doing any sort of heavy chandelier or anything like that, like a ceiling fan, you don't want to use these. But for this case, this works. Alright, so when you're making up the cans, you're going to want to strip about 3/4 of an inch back. Maybe an inch on all the wires. You can take your pliers and twist the grounds together. Twist the neutrals together. And then twist the hots together. And then just clip off the ends here. So you get a good solid connection. And then your green connection is going to go to the ground, which is the bare copper. White to white, or neutral, and then black to black for the hot. And we'll just repeat this process for the rest of the lights. And that's pretty much all there is to it. Once I get all the wires made up, I'd like to give them a good tug, make sure they're connected in there well enough. Fold them back up into the box. And then screw the light fixture in place using the 2 little screws here, 2 little screw holes. Make sure that when you're going through, you're using the same screw holes so that everything lines up, because if you're not, it could be off a little bit. Alright, so the cans are up. Everything looks nice and square. So, yeah. I'm happy with how it turned out. It's going to be suitable for hanging a ceiling fan because you're just supported by the weight of the fixture is just supported by the, try that again. We're going to go ahead and take these strings down so that they don't get caught up in the teeth of the hole saws, and then get these holes drilled.
Oh.
Yeah.